Recently, someone brought to my attention that in 2014, MATN did a Kill Everything Fallout 3 series. And at roughly 10 minutes into the first episode of that series, MATN explains that the reason he did a Kill Everything series of Fallout 3 instead of a Pacifist Kill Nothing series is because it is impossible to play Fallout 3 as a pacifist.
So why am I doing Fallout 3 kill everything rather than no kill? Well, one, you physically can't no kill Fallout 3. There's two parts of the game where there's no where you literally cannot avoid killing people. There is the rad roach. There's the rad roach that we killed. The only way to avoid that is literally to glitch your way out of bounds and leave the vault while you're 10 years old. But I think at that point the game becomes uncompletable, so it can't actually be done. And the other is you can't complete the Waters of Life because one of the objectives is you have to personally clear out the super mutants that are underneath the. Well, you personally have to clear out the super mutants that are in the Jefferson Memorial. Now, obviously, you could just bring a companion and have the companion do it, but just like Fallout New Vegas, I am playing by the rules that I am responsible for companions, so companions are not allowed to do any killing. So you can't no-kill run this game.
There's a difference between being ignorant and being a liar. Being ignorant means you don't know something or what you think you know is wrong. Being a liar is when you say something that you flat out know is false. As I've been gradually responding to MATN's Fallout 3 is better than you think video, I've come to the conclusion, time and time again, that he's a liar and lying about various things because I just can't accept that he would be that stupid that he couldn't know what he's talking about. So I concluded it had to be willful ignorance. But thanks to this tip from Brush the Swashbuckler, there's no longer any doubt whatsoever that MATN is a liar because MATN knew that playing Fallout 3 as a pacifist is impossible back in 2014. But then in 2018, he lied and said you can play the game as a pacifist.
Now, some people also seem annoyed that you can't talk down the very first guard that attacks you at the start, but you can very easily run away from him. He's distracted by the rad roaches. In fact, I kind of always assumed that's why the rad roaches are there, because he never seems to die to them, so it's just a good opportunity to run if you want to be more of a pacifist. In fact, it's actually incredibly easy to escape the vault without killing. Using the rad roaches as a distraction, the first guard loses you immediately. You can avoid the guards in the atrium corridor incredibly easily. There's even a specially recorded dialogue option for a martyr to say if you sneak past her interrogation and don't intervene. So the game's fully aware that this could be an option.
I didn't think I would make it. My father, Officer Mac, I didn't tell them anything, I swear. When the warning sirens came on, they all ran out. I guess that was you?
And I honestly don't understand how people look at that and think that doesn't feel like a Fallout game in the style of the original games. At every stage, you can solve things with skill checks if you prioritise the right skills, and if you haven't, you can search the area to find alternative ways through, you can blast your way through if you want, you can complete the whole area as a pacifist. I honestly don't know what more people want.
Not true at all. I don't think I'm going to bother watching every single video in this series he made, but I did watch this first episode thanks to that tip, and yeah, it's pretty bad. He creates a female character, which is fine in and of itself. I understand that. Women are easier on the eyes. In contrast, men are hairy beasts, and I say that as someone who is a literal hairy beast myself. And in addition to that, it is objectively better to play as a female character with a Black Widow perk than a male character with Lady Killer, because by far the majority of enemies you face will be males. So it's just an objective fact that there's an advantage to playing a female character over a male one, and they're easier on the eyes due to the fact that they're not hairy beasts. But even so, there has to be a limit. But MATN crosses that line by then proceeding to twerk in Butch's face.
I have no idea what's going on, but I'd like to think I'm kind of twerking Butch right now. I think it's the first time I've ever used the word twerk in a non-ironic fashion.
which I thought was kinda a weird thing to do. Not quite as weird as Oxhorn with his all-female dungeons and settlements, mind you, but, you know. He also accuses Amada of being a homophobe because she rejects his character's lesbian advances.
Let's just creep out Amada a bit. Because you can't actually, you can't be a lesbian in Fallout 3. You can in New Vegas, but you can't in Fallout 3, so that's sad, but let's try and rectify that balance just a little bit by picking this option.
Oh, gross! Knock it off! This is serious!
Okay, your homophobia is going to make me much less uncomfortable with killing you.
If MATN has a problem with homophobia, then why the hell did he go to the Greenbrier event along with Oxhorn? Merely rejecting someone's advances isn't homophobia, but saying that people should be thrown out on the street, lose their jobs, and so on for their sexual orientation, that is homophobia, and it's also, frankly, very cruel. If it is someone's religious beliefs that gay people shouldn't be married, then that's one thing. But this sack of shit goes beyond that. He's a ruthless piece of slime that wants to throw people out on the street. Where in the Bible does it say that? Show me the passage. He can say his views on homosexuality have changed, and people can take his word for that if they want. But, in my opinion, this goes beyond homophobia. Because what decent person would want to destroy someone's life like this, whether it be for their sexual orientation or for any reason? This isn't just a homophobia issue, it's an issue of lacking any empathy for others. A person's views might change with time, but a lack of empathy is more of a personality defect, and this is something which isn't likely to ever change. But MATN doesn't seem to have a problem with that, and he will happily go to the Greenbrier event and play Fallout 76 with this piece of shit that wants to throw people out on the street and rob them of their livelihood. Yet, at the same time, MATN wants to kill Amada for rejecting his character's advances, which he considers homophobic. But meanwhile, he will ignore the 500-pound actual homophobic elephant in the room. Make of that what you will. I'm done talking about it. It wasn't really the point of this video anyway. If I'm ever scraping the barrel for content to make, I guess I could watch this series of his and find all sorts of crap to nitpick and respond to, but right now I mainly just wanted to talk about this point of him lying in his Fallout 3 is better than you think video. Aside from the rad roach you're forced to kill at the start, MATN also brings up something I didn't even realize. That you are obligated to clear out the super mutants at the Jefferson Memorial. So here, MATN actually made a really great point that I had missed. No wonder he said that bit about how you're the super mutants' bad ending. Even though he lied at the start of his video and said you can play as a pacifist, he dropped that claim pretty quick and never made it again throughout his video. And it is every bit as wrong at the end of his video as it was at the start. At least the rad roach is just an insect, but those super mutants you are forced to kill, those are actually people, or at least they used to be. There is a world of difference between killing a bug and killing a person, isn't there? At least there should be. You know what's really funny though? Not only is a pacifist playthrough of Fallout 3 impossible, but a kill everything playthrough of Fallout 3 is equally impossible, as there are numerous essential characters that cannot be killed. James will eventually kill himself, but that's his own doing, not you. Many other characters, including Sarah Lyons, are unkillable right up to the very end of the game. It's just weird to me that MATN ruled out a pacifist run of Fallout 3 because that's impossible, but the fact a kill everything run is equally impossible doesn't seem to bother him at all. Oh well, he's a hypocrite. What can you do?